Hello. Hello out there. Just cleaning up my windows. Here's my notes. Let me change the color of the background so it's a little more clear. Let's see, bring this up. Okay, I think this is good. Okay. Awesome. Penful, welcome. Oh, I was a little worried no one would come to this live stream because it's more going to be more of an informal one. I didn't have much time to prepare for the originally planned belts part 2, which I was trying to finish off the belts live stream from last week. I think it was last 2 weeks or so. The last live stream on belts, which is this one. So I wanted to finish this off. That was the original plan, but I wasn't feeling very well last night, and I didn't have much time to practice for like a more formal live stream to finish off this belt stream. But I still wanted to do a live stream as announced. So my solution was to do a casual sort of FAQ one. If you have any Houdini questions, I can answer them today. And I can even do a very casual demonstration of the belts to finish it off. But I'm going to do a more formal one with, a more step by step real time build of it. And the next time when I have a little bit more time to prepare, when I'm feeling a little bit better. Because it does take a lot of work to prepare for the live stream. I do have to practice ahead of time, and I didn't get that chance last night because I was just not feeling well. RBLX. Hello, Mrs. Bubble. So, how's everyone doing today? How is everyone Houdiniing? Any new projects anyone's been working on? Let me see if I can put this side by side. Do you have any questions today? So today's going to be a little different. We're going to have a FAQ session. Let me see if I can fit this on the screen. I'm running out of real estate. Okay, I think that's good. So I did some improvements on the belt scene. And this looks way better than the last live stream. Well, mainly because this is cached out. So I got to simulate this at a higher resolution too. So that helped. Vacus. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced the name. Nice to meet you again. Pinful. I'm a noob, but I decided to start with Fem. Well, that's okay. Fem is awesome. Fem is very, very fun. You should check out some of the stuff. Let's see. Oh, actually, Fem. I don't have any Fem free tutorials. I think when I started to do Fem, it was mainly for the membership one. That was the very first topic I did for the members only. Which was this Fem destruction. Sorry, this is only available for members. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, so you can squish these cars. I call it Fem destruction. The sponge back effect. This was one of the very first membership streams I did. Oh, let me turn down the sound. So it's this is actually dented using Fem. So Fem is very, very fun. And it's not too hard, but Fem does take a lot of CPU power. So it's not hard. It's just really hard on the CPU. Theodore. I hope I'm getting the names right. So sorry. Please forgive me if I get your name wrong. Hey, bubblepins. How would you approach creating a field of grass plants to interact with the running model through it? Would you go the wire route or vellum route? I would go with the vellum hair. I believe I have one. Let me pull up. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. I have an old scene file that I can just show you. Just give me 1 second. Let me just find that. It is somewhere hidden here. I'm just gonna grab a glass of water. Okay, I got it. Let me see. Which one is it? Let's see. Vellum hair. What was the last one I did? Hair wind. Okay, let's see if I can open this up. I'm just loading Houdini. I do have an old hair scene file that I can show you. Just gonna open it up and then start answering your question, just because it takes a while to load. Which one is the latest one? Furry render toy drop. Okay, let's go the. Let's see. Creating a field of grass with a running model through it. Oh, you want a running model? Oh. Let's see. I do have one of that too, but I just don't remember which one it was. Well, this one is a drop. So I just did the hair, but I would use vellum hair just because it's very fast and it's newer than the so Houdini has like 2 different ways to create hair. The old fashioned hair believe is someone here that you can use the tooltip to do. The old way of doing hair in Houdini, I actually never did it with node by node because that was like way predating the vellum hair. When vellum hair came out, that's when I started to do it node by node, like the old, the more trendy way of doing it node by node and not relying on the shelf tool. I don't know if they still have the old fashioned tool shelf tool hair still available, but the shelf tool hair is very nice for grooming. They have a lot of these tools, the UI tools to help you groom. Oh, I have to cache it all. Let me take this out and we'll just get a low res render. I was dropping my toy down. Okay. And plushie, and this was the hair model. Let me just ignore all my... This is super messy because this was never intended to be shared yet. I actually haven't talked about hair yet. Come on. This is pretty fast. I would say this is pretty fast for, let's see if there's hair on it. So there is hair. Let me change the color. Turn this down. Hopefully you can see all that furriness. So there's hair on here. So I would use vellum hair just because, let's see how many pieces of hair we have. We have 53, well, points. Okay. How many segments do I have? How many strands of hair? Roots. Open this up. Now this determines the color coding. Hair guides. Invect skin. It is quite complicated. This is the old way plus vellum hair combined together. So we have like the old way of grooming it using the guide effect and colliding. Oh my god, this was like crazy. This whole setup was like for the hair. There's my toy. Maybe it does help if I like... Sorry, I'm gonna squish this window a bit. Okay, get rid of that. Here's the plushie. Then we got density. Then we're like defining the density. And painting it. Oh, the paint doesn't cache very well. I find that in the new version, I don't know if it's just because it's 18.5, like ever since after 499, it started like this random caching issues. Not sure if it's just my machine. This is defining how long it is, and then you need like a skin, hair curves, VDB, just because you need all this stuff, just because I'm colliding the hair with Oliver. So I didn't want the hair to go through Oliver. So anyways, short answer, I would use Vellum. I would definitely use Vellum. Collision is so much easier with Vellum. You see in here, there's 3 inputs. This third input is for collisions. Let me see if I can get the tooltip up. There you go. Collision geometry. If you see that little tiny tooltip. And my collision geometry here is just like, it's just Oliver. Okay, nice. I don't know if that answers your question. Let me play this in the background while I read the chat. Okay. Nice to see you. Teacher AVX Studios. Welcome. RBLEX. I don't understand at all what KinFX actually is. Is it a pack of nodes for rigging? I believe the intention of KinFX is large part of KinFX is targeted for rigging, but it's not the whole story. I mainly use KinFX for rigging just because I thought it was so awesome. It's so easy, like to have a procedural and so much control over rigging stuff is like a dream for me, because I've always wanted to animate characters. If you go like here and you go like KinFX, these are all the KinFX nodes related that came with the new feature that Houdini sort of like dropped on us on version 18, I believe. And most of these nodes, these nodes are targeted for rigging. But that's not the whole story. You can do a lot of other things with it. Like I've seen one of Integma's tutorial. They were using it to peel the geometry of I think it was a statue. I can't remember. It's been a long time. So you can actually use it for many different things. So it's not just for rigging, but I think most of the nodes, like the original intention was mainly for rigging. And I have seen some tutorials to rig a character, but I don't understand what the nodes does exactly. Oh, I actually have, I don't know if you've checked it out yet. I actually have a tutorial on KinFX rigging, this one. So you can check that out. I do go through like step by step, and I try to explain each node as much as I can. In what it does. So in this tutorial, I go over how to rig a character, like a human character, and then I go over how to take that rig and actually retarget an animation to it. So if you were to go online and you were to buy your animations, like if you go to Mixamo and you would download animations, it doesn't come with a character. Well, it comes with their default character, with their default geometry. But if you wanted to retarget that animation to your own character, which is what I believe most of us would like to do. That's what this tutorial is about. So this goes over the basics. I do try to go over each node as much as I could. Like you get my usual very explaining videos, put it that way. And then I take that and I go even further. So I used KinFX and I do this to control a fem character, which is this plant eater. So this plant eater character object geometry, I turn it all into fem, and you get this like soft body plant eater head. And I control the mouth opening and closing with very, very simple KinFX, because this is just it's a plant head. It opens its mouth and closes, but that motion is controlled by KinFX. And this plant head is turned into fem, so I would get wrinkles. I love these little wrinkles. This is a flipbook one. So you get all this soft body motion, which I really liked. And then plus a very wrinkly shader, you get really nice results. So you can check that out. I even take that even further because I love that KinFX topic so much. I took that KinFX and went even further and then converted the KinFX rig into crowd agent. So we could actually, use it for the crowd system in Houdini. So this involves, this is the one where I do that. This is where I take the KinFX rig and convert it into a crowd agent. And then I set up the ragdolls. I can't remember if this was the ragdoll one or this one. And ragdolls is interesting is because you get collisions inside the crowd. So that's what ragdolls is used for. Let's see, RBLX. What you can do that. You can do that. What Fem do with Vellum as well. What? You can do what that Fem do with Vellum as well. Fem and Vellum are pretty different though. Oh, you mean soft body. I think you're talking about the soft body. Fem is more targeted for muscle, organic muscle and tissue, so it has this interesting feedback. So you get really interesting stuff like this feedback. Let me see if I can make this larger. Like it can go back to its original shape. Vellum can do something similar. It has soft body, so it can it's very squishy. Fem is very soft and it's more like balloon, but once you start squishing a balloon or a pillow, it may not return back to its original shape, sort of. It's a little harder to get that constraint. With Fem, you can get that more easily. So it's more, Fem is better designed for muscle and tissue and organic stuff. Vellum, I would use it for soft body. I do have a soft body. Oh, you can't. Let me see if I find that, which I think will be teaser. Give me 1 second. I have this little teaser video where oh, here it is. Okay. So this is Vellum. This is soft body Vellum. So it's very, simple. This one is Fem. So you have, let's go back. This is more like, you can picture the inside, there's these spheres inside this jelly-like material on the outside. This jelly material is not moving. The spheres inside are moving. So that's causing the jelly orange material to deform. So that's sort of like bone and muscle. You have bone inside, which affects your muscle tissue on the outside. So this is what I would use Fem for. And this, if you want to just squish things and just squeeze things and like teddy bears or soft body material, or like soft body material, jelly. No, actually jelly I would use Fem too, just because of that sponge back effect. So you can take your pick. They do have very similar characteristics though. Theodore, thank you. Awesome. Wasn't sure if I got your answer. So if you want to follow up the question, just in case my answer is not answering your question, you can just keep on coming. I'm going to go through every single message. Or any model, just interacting with it. I think you were asking about the grass. Or any model just interacting with it. Yeah, if you use... I do have a better one, better example. I wish I could find, but let's see. Give it a second. Play. I'm looking at the banner at the top. I do have a piece of grass, and I roll a ball across it. Just waiting for it to play. And I think that's what you're looking for. Oh, this is... Okay, let me... I didn't think that was that long. Okay, I think we're getting close. Stay with me. Okay, let me see if I can find... Oh, there it is, the grass. So I roll this ball across the piece of grass. I think that's what you're looking for. Let me see if I have a better... Oh yeah, I found a better way to show this. So it's around here. Here's the hair. There, this is... I think you want this. So like just grass and then rolling a ball across it to have collision. I think that's what you're looking for. This is actually very easy, if I remember correctly. I just had a ground plane, like a 2D grid, and then scattered a bunch of points for the grass, populated it with the vellum grass, and just connected a rolling ball. So like the ball, this ball is just an RBD object, and then just connected the rolling ball to the third input of the vellum solver. So you would feed everything in. I just wish I could find it. I don't remember where I put that grass one. Vellum test. Here, test scene. I wonder if it was this. Or maybe. No, post. Yeah, I'll have to like search for it. That's buried under there somewhere. But I think that's what you're looking for, the grass scene. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I'll have to search for this thing. But this is relatively very easy, just because the vellum solver exposes... The vellum solver on the SOP level exposes all three inputs, making it very easy to plug in collision forces. Cut comedy. I am at work, but I would like to ask if members can see how you are dissolving splash screen text particles with the pyro. Splash screen text particles. Splash screen text particles. Are you talking about I think I know what you mean. It's one of the stuff I did with the motion graphics stuff. This stuff, right? I think this is what you're talking about. I know you might not be able to answer me because you're at work, but that's okay. I believe this is what you're talking about. So, this is, let me think. What was it? I did 3 versions of it, I believe. One was the text. This text starts out as a whole solid. So it's just like an SVG file that I wrote, I did in Illustrator just because it has better font. You don't need that. You can just go to Houdini. I'm just gonna do a new one. Let me just enlarge this a bit more. What you can do is like geo. You can do font. And you can actually type in stuff. Let's see, bubblepins. Okay. You don't get much font choices. I believe this font list is coming from your computer. So whatever font you have installed on your computer, I believe this is where they get the list from. I wasn't too fond of whatever font was on my computer or whatever this list had available, so I didn't like that too much. So that's why I used an SVG file. So I could export the SVG. I could export this SVG from Illustrator, which has nicer font. If you do use that, all you have to do is go here, and because your SVG file is just an image file, or it can be a PNG file. I think PNG works better, and you can do a trace. So what Houdini does, it will take that picture file and it'll trace it. Actually, I can do a quick experiment. I actually know where that is, I think. Yes, it's right. Ooh, maybe not. Overlay. Text animation. Oh, I remember. I called it text animation. Tune filter text animation. Okay, there it is. Nice. Text animation. Okay, let's go with the particle one, just because this is right on the top of the list. Let's bring it in. Let's just do this. I don't know. Oh, it's the camera. Particles below. This was never intended to be released, so you can see my the roughness of this. It's not very organized with nice sticky notes. This is the real me, the messy me. Text. Here's the image. All right. Let me change this to dark. Logo text. I put it into go up logo text. So these are like the image files right here. These ones. Let me see if I can make it bigger. View, large, extra large. Okay. So these are the image files. And then when you bring it, you can use the trace node. This Houdini's trace node, and you can trace over say the text is black, so you can trace over the black. You go here, trace, filters. What do you want to filter? You want to filter out the white, and you have whole faces. The whole faces, what they mean is the B here has 2 holes that make up the B. So that's what they mean by whole faces. Now you need to be tricky. This node is a little tricky to when updating. So be careful. When you change the file, come over here and just change the threshold. Just go up and down, or just change the number of the threshold in order to force this node to update. So I did find a few like updating issues with this, is that it doesn't, after I change the file, it doesn't really trigger the update on your viewport until you change a threshold number or a parameter number of some sort. Just be aware of that. As for the dissolving, so I think you're talking about this. So I started with a SVG file, but you don't have to. As I said, you can start off with the font node in Houdini. That works just as well. And then after you get a solid geometry out of your text, turn it into a VDB, as what I did. This here, and then now I did something really more advanced with this, is that I used a solver SOP, and this will allow me to remember. I do need to cook it. Oh, I think I need more. I need to. Now, before that, okay, let me go rewind back a bit. So this is this. In order to get these particles, where would the particle move? How do the particles move? You need a velocity vector, a vector field, telling it like the plan on where the particles will move, how the particles will move. You need a plan. And how would you get that velocity plan or velocity vector field? I used I believe I used something from the shelf tool. The velocity field is created using an additional simulation. So it's another part of it, as in here. So this is the simple pyro simulation that I used. I'm just going to see if I can play it. Okay, so that's all it's doing. But what I'm grabbing, what I really need from this pyro simulation is the velocity vector. How is this volume moving? That's all I'm grabbing out of this. That's all I need out of it. So I take this, which is the pyro simulation. I believe it's something very simple. I believe it's just the billow effect. Like I grabbed something from the shelf tool. It's nothing fancy. And then back to the text. So it's cached out. Okay, I'm not going to cache it out now. Now I take, this is our pyro. This is our pyro simulation. I use a .net. So this is a dop import, sorry. I use the dop import to extract all that pyro simulation data back into my text drop. And I blast it. All this is doing is isolating it. I just want one thing out of that pyro simulation. I just want the density. Take the density and I convert it into an SDF. This will give me, okay, here, okay, once I import, the data grabbed from the pyro simulation is enough for the velocity vector. This already has the velocity vector. The reason why I'm isolating the density and converting this is already a volume. Like it's already a volume, but I'm converting it and I'm converting it into an SDF. The reason for that is because I need to make this text, my bubble pins disappear. Because if you look here in this animation down here, wherever there is the volume, the bubble pins starts to disappear. It goes away. Otherwise, there's this disintegration doesn't work because the particles is a different simulation. It's a particle simulation, and the disappearing, the bubble pins text, the text disappearing, is created using a VDB boolean. So it's not at the beginning. I did use the SOPs boolean. So I used this boolean. to try and do it. This boolean takes geometry. It does not take volume. So as you can see here, I have converted my bubblepins geometry into a volume. So I'm only dealing with volume. And that worked out better for me rather than using the boolean. At the beginning, I actually did try the SOPs boolean, and I tried doing this, and I tried subtracting it. So I would grab, now this is our volume. This is our volume. So I had to, now remember, this boolean is a SOPs boolean. So this volume is not going to help me. I got to convert it into a polygon. First, you have to convert it into VDB and then into a polygon. And it doesn't work very well because this is like, you know what? Let's try this. VDB convert. There's multiple conversions. This may work a little bit better. Polygon. VDB. It's because the pyro simulation that I used outputs an old Houdini volume, which complicates things even more. But let's not go down that route. Just I need to convert into a VDB and then a polygon. And then you can get this polygon version of the smoke, but it's not that great. It doesn't interpret the volume that well. So it's very hard to get this convert polygon to work. So I had a lot of trouble with it. And even when I got it to work, to convert correctly, the boolean started to mess up just because the text is separate objects. And the boolean, the SOPs boolean, had a lot of trouble booleaning each letter at a time. If it was only one letter, it was a lot easier. But I have multiple letters, which makes multiple objects. Long story short, the SOP boolean didn't work for this. Sorry, I'm trailing off. I converted the text into a volume and did all the boolean using the volume boolean. Convert SOPs. Let's enter inside here. VDB combine, which is like the volumes boolean. So what here, you get all the same things, like the union, intersect, just as the same thing as the SOPs boolean is, but it's in volumes. So you can combine volumes, you can subtract volumes, and what I need to do was subtract. So what this is just doing is just subtracting it. So wherever you can see, it's eating away from it. And that's where this is the path, is where the volume is. And you can't really see it because right now it's a VDB and it's in voxels. It's really like you get the square voxel stuff. But that translates to this. So that's the disappearing of the text. And then you have to fill in then you have to make a separate simulation for the particles. So there's like three separate things you have to do. First, you have to create the velocity vector using a pyro simulation. Then you have to make the text disappear using a VDB boolean method. And then the third one is to populate, to do the particle effect. So hopefully that answers your question. You can, after your work, you can leave a comment below and then I can answer it in more detail. Theodore, still on the shelf, just on the left side, second last. What was the question? Sorry, let me see. You were talking about the vellum grass, I believe. Still on the shelf, on the left side, second last. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Left side on the second last. I may have a different order. My shelf tool might have a different order than yours. The grains. Oh, the hair. I think I know what you're talking about now. The hair. This guy, right? Yeah, this is still here. The old-fashioned hair. This shelf tool is not too bad, but I prefer to do it manually using the nodes. It made more sense to me. But this grooming, the using the shelf tool to groom is a lot easier. Although I don't do much grooming anyways, so. Theodore, sorry, RBLX. Theodore, yes, I would like to see it too. Oh, so you guys like hair? Yeah, I haven't done any hair yet. I'll add that to the list. Josh. Hi, could you give me or us tips for rendering ocean flips in Redshift? I don't have Redshift anymore. I've shifted to Blender. But I do have, like, I previously made a tutorial on it. This dates back a long time, just because it was one of the very first tutorials I ever did. This one describes how to render oceans using Redshift. But this only covers how to render the ocean in Redshift. And I think I know where you're coming from. You probably watched my previous live stream, which is a much newer one, where I did this blending the flip fluid tank with oceans. That one, it should be rendered the same way, just because the flip tank is flattened out, so it could blend with the ocean grid. And I do talk about how to get the velocity back. So you can use that velocity attribute. Inside this live stream, I do talk about how you can get the velocity back. Because once you blend the flip tank with the oceans, you lose some of the attribute data. So I do talk about how you can get some of that back, especially the velocity. And how you can, but I don't actually show you how to render it in Redshift, just because I don't have Redshift anymore. You can use the same way as this one, and render it like that, if that helps. I don't know if that makes any sense. Let's see what I can do. Let me grab that file. Let me open that file. I think that'll make it easier for me to form words. Particle notes. Okay, let's try this. Where'd it go? Oh, this one. Just gonna grab a glass of water. Okay, just give it a second. Okay. Oceans. So this is the flip sim. Particles. This is the flip tank. Now this flip tank is not blended yet. It's blended here, I believe. Okay, there you go. So you see that square in the middle? That's the flip tank. And the rest of it, this extended, the extended areas is the grid, ocean grid. Now we do lose the velocity, but if you come here to the evaluate oceans, you can evaluate the point velocity. I'm gonna do color. You know what? I have another one where it's already made. I think this is easier to. Let's do this one. Just give it a second. Okay, yeah, this is much better. So flattened out ocean here, and then combine velocity. This is where I get the velocity back, or try to get it back anyways. Colorize it here. So I converted here in the ocean evaluate. I check the point velocity. However, this is not. Just gonna hook this up, and then I'm gonna call, because it's not speed, it's velocity. Okay. I believe it goes to 1. Not sure. Let's see. Where's the coloring? Okay, let's run it. Hopefully it can run. So this color coding is overriding the flip tank. You can see that it's just going like, it's just whatever the grid was, the ocean grid was, it's overriding the middle part. So what I'm trying to say is that the middle flip tank part has its own velocity because it's colliding with that the propeller cup, the coffee cup in the middle. So the flip tank in the middle has a different velocity compared to the ocean on the outside. And in order to combine both of them, so you can get oceans, you can get the velocity by checking the point velocity in ocean evaluate, but that will only give you the ocean velocity. And in order to get back the flip tank velocity, you'll have to combine it yourself, or that's the way I did it. All I did was just add them. This is a really, really simplistic way of combining both velocities. There's probably a better way to do this, like maybe, yeah, like a fit range. I think that would be better, because once you're adding it, you're sort of diluting the velocity all over overall, because it's averaging it everywhere. But the flip tank only exists in the middle, so you're actually adding the velocity everywhere. So this is not the greatest way of doing it. It's a very simplistic way to do it. Given time, I guess you can improve this way, improve the way of combining the velocity. But this shows you how you can use both of them, how you can grab both of them. So this here is grabbing, this is the flip tank. So this is only flip tank. See, this is the flip tank. Everywhere it's flat, dead flat, because the flip tank is only in the middle and it's just extending the edges. If you watch the this previous tutorial, you'll see that I take the flip tank, I simulate it using narrow bands. So this is what the simulation looks like. You can see that there's no particles on the bottom, and that's very important for this, for blending it with the ocean. You only want the ones at the top. So when you convert the flip particles into a polygon, to a flat grid, you can blend it with the ocean grid. And that's what we get here. We get a flat grid. So we're just blending two grids together, essentially. This grid and the ocean grid. Combine that together using this really simplistic way of adding the velocity. Once you have the velocity, sorry, I'm not even there answering your question yet. After you get the velocity, so after you get the velocity V back in here into your spreadsheet, you can use it to set up the materials and shade your ocean plus flip. But you need this velocity attribute in here, or you get like a speed attribute out of here. In order to calculate speed out of velocity, you just take the length of the velocity. But anyways, let's do something. Okay, let me do something here. A material network, and bind. So this, you use a bind in order to access. If I wanted to build a material in order to shade this, and I wanted to drive the material using this velocity attribute, you need the bind node in order to access this, to get this velocity. So let's just put a v, because that's what we're trying to get. And it's a vector. And I'm going to take the length of this, and that gives us speed. So this becomes the length of a vector. You get a scalar value, which is just the speed. I'm not going to get into the mathy stuff. It's a quick demo. And then you can feed this into, like, I don't know. Probably you want to use one of the material. Like in Redshift, they have their own material. They have a water material. But I don't have Redshift anymore, so I can't show you that. In here, they have a material for the mantra. They have a material palette, and they do have a really like basic ocean or water. I would not use the ocean. I tried this. It looks pretty weird. I haven't figured out how to get this to look good, but you can use the basic liquid. That's not too bad. I mean, I use Blender as my main rendering engine now, so I don't use these anymore. But say let's fit it into a principal shader. You would connect this into one of these inputs over here. So in order to assign it, I'm not sure if I can do a really quick render, but let's give it a try. I'm going to take this out. This is going to be very simplistic render. Okay, out and show. Let's give it a world. One, take this out. Okay, let's just do a render. Oh, I don't have lights. Shoot. Let's see if that made it in time. Oh, I need to make this smaller. I forgot to add color. Material here. Okay, let's adjust this. Instead, let's make a ramp. White, blue, length 0 to 1. Oh, we need a fit range. Let's see the length. Oh, I can't. Here I wrote it out. Here in this pop-up, I wrote out the velocity into a speed vector, into a speed one. So 4 point something. Okay, actually, well, let's connect this over here, because I have a speed here. There's a speed here. That's what this pop-up is doing. Put it here. And let's give this a world. Material. Oh, I connected the wrong one. Sorry. Copy the principal. Come to the material. Paste it in. Is it doing anything? Let's see. Okay, so we're starting to get color. There you go. That's what I wanted to see. Some sort of color. So that's how you would go about that. But Redshift has its own Redshift thing. So you wouldn't use, you can't use this. I don't know if you can use this material node. You would go to, like, you would create your own Redshift materials. It has its own I don't think Redshift has a principal shader. When I was using it, it didn't have a principal shader. I don't. There's been a lot of updates since, like Redshift 3.0 got released. I believe it might have a principal shader now, but that's how you go about it. Pinful. It will be epic if you eventually do a project combining everything. Ooh, I would love that. That would be really long though. That might be like a whole day of live streaming to get everything ready. Because preparation is like 90% of the work. RBLX. I guess he means like grass on a separate plane and the ball or something else rolls through the grass. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I meant. For the... Ooh, where'd it go? This day. I think this is what he meant. So it just like rolls through it. This is relatively easy, like I said. All you have to do, because it's easy for the Vellum SOP. Because Vellum, there is a Vellum.net version, and the one on they put on the SOP land, like here, like this stuff here, is relatively easy to do that grass. But if you go through the .net, it's not that bad using .net, I guess. Theodore. Oh yes, bingo. Field of grass. Object going through it and interacting, colliding properly, but sounds like better to do vellum, not wire from Bubbles answer. You could try both. It could be a challenge. I don't know. But I would use, I personally prefer vellum hair. Vellum hair to do the grass. RBLX. Yeah, I found a lot of retargeting, but I animate myself. Oh, you can still do the animation using KinFX. Let me show you, just because I love KinFX. Give me 1 second. I have to dig the files now. KinFX. Actually, let me show you the plant eater, because that's the one I actually keyframe the animation. It's a very simple one with the mouth opening and closing, but that shows you the point that how you can use KinFX to actually do the animation. Which one? Let's try this. Oh, I should have used this one. This one has my notes. Sorry, let me open another. Oh, okay. Nope. Plant head geometry. So plant head geometry, nothing special. It's just a Pac-Man ball head with a mouth in it. Bite on rubber toy. Well, we don't care about that right now. Oh, maybe I do need this. Fuse KinFX. Oh, I just cashed it out. KinFX rig. This is how simple this rig is. This plant heater ad is. If you've seen my other KinFX rigs, they're a lot more complex. This one is so simple. It's like that's it. This part preps it for the fem animation, a simulation. So there's that really ridiculous, simplistic plant head. Remeshed it. It's just so I have even topology, because the animation wasn't looking right with this. There's the KinFX rig. So this is my skeleton. That's it. Literally, that's it. And that's the mesh. This is the skeleton. Oh my god. There we go. That's the skeleton. This part gives it weight. So you have any other program like Blender, you could like paint the weights in. Houdini calculates it for you, which is amazing. I hate painting weights. Okay, and what I wanted to show you. So the bone deform, this puts everything together. It puts the mesh, which is the mesh object you see here, and the rig, which is the skeleton rig. This is the resting position. So this middle one is the rest. This is the resting position, which is not moving. It's just this. This is the animated rig. So this is where you put your keyframes in. So I have keyframes down here. If I select one of these, you see these green bars here. It's actually keyframed. So I'm just going to scroll through it. I'm going to take off the template so you only see this one. Move back a bit. That's literally what it's doing. So all I did was keyframe these joints. And what do you get? You get this, which I love. That's very simple. So you can still do keyframe animations here. The best thing about doing keyframe animation in Houdini is that, okay, I put my keyframes in and I go like, I don't like how this one is turning out. So I'm just going to ignore it. But I don't lose any work. Like this moves it. I can separate my work into steps in a non-destructive way. This is very powerful. So this one is moving just the top part of the mouth. So I'm going to scroll through this. This is just moving the top part. So say I want an animation where it's only moving the top part of the mouth, but I don't want to redo everything. I can just ignore this node and then just click here and I can still run it. So this is just moving the top. And say like 5 minutes later, you know what? I want that bottom mouth part, the bottom lip to move. So I would put that back in and then I have it right here. This non-destructive way of working is very powerful. So that's the advantage of working in working with rigs in Houdini. Will, thanks for all the tutorials, really useful, especially the old RBD ones. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. Pinful with member level 2. Do you help with my personal projects? I help everyone. So you have a question, you can always ask it anytime you want in the comments, during the live stream, anytime. Like I don't favor. There's no extra favors to if you're a member or not. I help everyone. What the membership gives you is that it accelerates your learning process. So I actually, at level 1 membership, you can download the HIP file and you can get that that comes with level 1 membership. Level 2, you get the HIP file and you get my fancy blue highlighting notes. Like I take the live stream and I edit it like crazy and I add my fancy blue highlights stuff. Let's see, I'm trying to find an example. The fancy blue highlighting, like these arrows, I add that all in. I add notes, extra notes in, and I also add these bookmarks, which I find incredibly useful. I'm just going to ignore that. So these bookmarks down here, you'll get this, which I find very useful to help you find certain things that you're looking for without watching the entire video over again. So say you remember something, you're just trying to remember where it was. Well, this will help you find it without find it quickly. Okay, say, I remember bubblepins told me something about UDIM, but I don't remember the name of it. Okay, come over to the video and then just try and find. You can control F and go like UDIM, and then you can look through the topics, and once you click this, it will bring you to exactly where it begins inside the video. So that's what you get for the membership. There's no paywall for extra help. I answer it as quickly as possible. And it doesn't matter who you are a member or not. So cool. Balaji, incredible. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. Jojo, hey, you made it. How are you? I am a little tired. I'm much better today because I got more sleep. I didn't pull an all-nighter, so I had a huge headache last night, which delayed me from doing from finishing up the belts today. I really wanted to finish the belts, but that didn't end up happening. So today is just FAQ. You can ask questions, and I'll just answer them. Which lightens the load on the preparation work for the live streams, because a lot of preparation work goes into the streams. I will reschedule the belts part 2. Rao, how can I learn more about you? I know you are doing a lot of Houdini things in YouTube, but I'd like to know you as well. Oh, well, you can come to my blog and click this about me. Have a large blur of the stuff I like. This list needs to be updated. I don't use Redshift, for instance. I gotta take that off the list. I am still learning Painter and Designer. That, I know a bit of Designer. I really, really like Substance Designer, just because the workflow is very similar to Houdini. The Houdini cops. This thing? Oh. You need cops. Composite view. So, was it butterfly? Image. Oh, I don't even remember. The cops in Houdini is used for compositing. However, I've seen people use the cops compositing feature in Houdini to create textures, which is amazing, which I find amazing. However, it is very tricky because it doesn't, because one thing, it's not designed for that. It's not designed for textures, but people have used it to create textures. You do not get that repeating, the tiling effect. So you have to tile it manually. You have to create the tile. Your textures are not tileable out of the box, and that's what Substance Designer does. Everything, because this Substance Designer was designed to make textures, so it's incredibly easier. You get a lot of that for free. Like you get, sorry, not free. I meant you get it out of the box. You get tileable textures out of the box, so you don't have to worry about that. The only thing you have to worry about is creating nice UVs for your object, for your mesh. But I'm currently still learning it. You can come here if you want to learn more about me, I guess. There was a huge part of me that was obsessed with 3D printers during a certain time period of my life. It's so sad when PrintRbot they closed down. So sad. It was one of my favorite printers. This one is my favorite printer, just because I hacked it like crazy. Look at this thing. It did not come like this. It's been through many upgrades, and like custom upgrades too. This fan, I added an extra fan here, but I didn't have power, so I actually hacked one of this board for I found an extra pin that was not used that that gave me enough power that was drawing, literally, I think it was drawing 1 amp out of that board. I don't know what it did to the motherboard, but it worked. But I had to manually calibrate the Z every single time, like calibrate this thing going down, just because I used that pin. Because I used the pin for the Z sensor. I took that power pin and I used it for this fan. Apparently, this fan has the same ampage current usage. Well, it's a little more, actually. It was a little more than the power Z, or whatever, the Z sensor, which is the metal detector on the back of this. You can't see it here, but it had the same, almost same. It pushed it a little bit more. I knew that this board could handle it. Well, actually, I didn't know until you try it. In the worst case, well, it didn't matter. I have a couple of these. I tore apart my other printers, so I had a couple left behind. This, I loved it so much. I didn't even dare touching it. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna hack this one. This one stays exactly as it is, just because I love it. It's very portable. It's very sturdy. So you can come here and you'll learn more about me. Daniel, hey, hello. Jojo, check out bubblepins Academy for Houdini. They have online certificate programs. Penful. Do you know about Discord? I do. I tried it once. It's a little complicated. It's a little much. All the commands and all that stuff. It's different. It's very different. I know the YouTube thing is not great. It's not glamorous. Seriously. I really wish they could do better with the chat version, with the chat features in YouTube. Discord has more functions and features. But I like the YouTube simplistic. Click, click, click. It just doesn't work properly. That's all. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll one day go to that. KinFX Studios, Jojo, okay. Evening, I can appreciate 3D printing obsession. It's a brilliant extension to 3D software and great fun. Yes, it is. It is so fun. I have put a pause on it for a while, so I haven't done much. Like this stuff, this stuff has been sitting on a shelf, well, on the floor. For a while. I have to brush this dust off of it. But it is very fun. KinFX Studios, tell me any institute for Houdini, huh? Like recommend any? I don't. I mean, there's a lot of online sources that you can go to. Like mine. Actually, I was just trying to find an example, and then I just remembered I'm an online source too. So this is one place you can check out. I mean, the searching through here is horrendous. You can come here to the homepage, the homepage right here. Scroll down a bit, and there's a search bar. You can search here. Or if you're just browsing, you can just click this, and then you can just look at the thumbnails, what you like. Or, even better, I do have like a teaser, this playlist. You can watch this playlist. So this playlist is full of like 30 seconds to 1 to 2 minutes of like demo videos of what I've accomplished. It's a compilation of short, teaser videos of what's to come, or most of it is already done. So you can check out that. That gives you a really nice introduction into what you can do and what I have to offer. So that's one resource. Other resources, I think CGMA is pretty good, but they're very expensive. It's just that they keep spamming my email, so that came up on top of my head. Now, I personally, I have taken 2 CGMA courses that I can think of, I believe. Yeah, I think it's just 2. Because they're really, really, really expensive. The one that I took, the very first one I took was on Vex. And I was a complete newbie. And I really took a risk on that. I thought, oh, this should be okay. I'll just work twice as hard. No, that did not work okay. I was so lost. But the instructor for that at that time, now that instructor that I took, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. He was so good. He was really, really good. I mean, he left the next term after I took it. So I was the last term he actually taught. So I'm glad I actually took it when even though I didn't understand a thing, I'm still glad I took it while he was teaching it. Imagine how good he was, because CGMA kept on using his old videos even after he left. So that's how good that guy was. I wish I knew his name. I forgot his name. It's been years. He doesn't teach. I don't believe he teaches anymore. He works for a company somewhere now. I don't know. I don't know if he does freelance, but he was very, very good. Dude. You missed some up. What? Did I miss a comment? I'm so sorry. Oh, here. Suggest me best institute for Houdini in any country. Oh. Most the Houdini skills, because I got my Houdini skills mostly from online sources. I've never actually studied in an institute for Houdini, like especially just focused on Houdini. I don't know if any exist. But seriously, you really don't need to go that far. I mean, that sounds expensive. I would stick with online courses. Like even CGMA sounds expensive. Udemy actually has. Oh, you know what? I can suggest some stuff. Udemy has this course. Even I bought it too. Was it Houdini Bootcamp? But this guy mainly this guy mainly teaches using the shelf tool. So I bought this course because I wanted to learn more about the shelf tool. I felt like, I know a lot of people don't want to learn about the shelf tool, but I felt like a need to be like well-rounded to know both. So he focuses mainly on the shelf tool. So this is pretty good. I mean, it's cheap too. It's $15. Yeah, and you can come here for online resources. What else? Rowan has a lot of good resources. I mean, when I started out, some of his tutorials helped me a lot. I think he's updated some of his tutorials, so I don't want to recommend you tutorials that I already took from him, just because they were really, really dated. I don't know if he updated them, or he might have newer versions of them. So go check him out, and like all his tutorials are very nice. Hopefully that answers your question. Balaji, please share tutorial series of Unreal if possible for beginners. I'm actually working on that. Sorry it's been taking so long. I have been trying to find some more time to finish my current list of topics, and then I really wanted to move on to like I didn't even have time to do the short film that I really, really wanted to do. But after all that, and after the hopefully soon, I can move on to the live link, the live link features that Houdini and Epic Games have combined forces together to create. So there's like this really nice live link feature. Whatever, you can take the model from UE, port it into Houdini, and port it back into Unreal. Like the whole thing, the whole process between the two applications is very seamless now. So I really wanted to try that out and then like start going into more into Epic Games and more into using Houdini as the workflow, because I really love the Houdini procedural node, like this non-destructive way of doing things, and I really love Unreal. They're getting bigger and bigger. Epic Games is getting bigger and bigger. So I think that's like the wave of the future. It may be a little early saying that, but I think it's coming to that. I don't know if you've heard of the metahumans that they're providing. I wonder if we can take the metahumans in UE, bring it into Houdini, and use KinFX to rig it. Or even, I'm not sure if it's even necessary. Or maybe they already have a KinFX rig available, and all we have to do is just animate the rig poses, animate this stuff. Like maybe all this is already available out of the box for the metahumans, because the metahumans look very, very realistic. RBLX. How thin is the nozzle of the Prusa? The one that I got is it should be 0. Oh dear, I don't remember. 0.3, or was that the layer height? Let me just look it up. It's been years. I haven't touched it in years. Let's look this up. I mean, Prusa is probably the easiest one to use just because of their fancy UI, like auto calibration system. It's so easy. So it's literally my go-to one if I ever did go back to printing stuff. Oh, I can't find it. Nozzle. Nozzle. Ooh, the page is taking forever to load. I believe it's 0.3. Or that might have been the layer height. I'll get back to you on that. I can't find it. And the page is taking forever to load. I think it's because I'm streaming. Bubblepins, you missed some questions up in the chat. Did I? I'm so sorry. Incredible. Flip, eventually epic. Retargeting, old ones, pin, incredible. How are you? How do I learn more about things on YouTube? I'd like to know as well. Oh, did I miss this? Speaking about the ocean of flip sim, is there any chance to consider showing a character getting wet by water? Assume Oliver is coming. Oh, you want a wet map? I have not talked about how to do a wet map yet. I'll add that to the list. Actually, that should be a nice complimentary one to go with the white water as well. The white water I had come after I did the blending flip tank with oceans. I came up with a scene for the white water one, but that one is still in the works. I can't get it to work correctly. You would use a wet map for that. So it's actually a texture that is generated. It's a sequence of textures generated. You can generate a sequence of textures from Houdini using the flip tank or the flip simulation in order to know where it collides. So you have like a texture for the rock. So you're trying to get a wet map for the rock to show that it's actually wet. You would need to know where it collides and where the water collides with the object, and then those are the areas you would identify and color with the wet map. I'll add it to the list. Sorry, do not where catching a fish came from. Sure, I'll add the fish in too, just because you said that. Condensation sweat is a cool idea. Oh, they have a condensation tooltip. It works pretty well. I could do something about that too. Just because it's already there. Like, oh, I can't find it. Just because it's already done, it's much faster to create to talk about that because the scene's already there. I can just use that. Danny, how do you think how much percent of mastery Houdini did you achieve? Ooh, probably like 1%, maybe. I don't know. Houdini's huge. It can do a lot. Like, all I've been doing is like, yeah, I covered a lot of different topics, but not every topic has been, yeah, I go in pretty deep, but that's the tip of the iceberg. Like, it goes even deeper. It goes like very, very deep. You can go like KinFX, you can go even deeper. Like, I've barely touched this. Like, a lot of these nodes I don't even use, and I've already used up how many? Let's see, one, two, three, four tutorials on that. And this one actually uses KinFX as well to create the crowd, the bug army. Like, and this one uses the KinFX as well. Like, I keep repeatedly using it, and I'm still only scraping the surface. So Houdini is huge. I would say 1% if I'm lucky. Mayank. Sorry. I'm so sorry if I pronounced it incorrectly. Well, welcome to the bubblepins world. 6. I'm just gonna call you 6. Is there any quality difference have dynamic ops in SOP context compared to DOP? Quality. I wouldn't say there's any quality difference. I believe down underneath, like the SOP and DOP, down underneath, they're still using the same code, like the same structure, same algorithms, same everything, I think. Like, this bullet solver, I can't, like, it doesn't make any sense for them to deviate this from, like, bullet solver from this. Why would they recreate it? The only difference, that's a suspicion. I don't work for sidefx or anything. That's just my suspicion. It makes no sense for them to recreate it completely just because they bring it into SOPs. They probably changed the way how the inputs are exposed. Now, that may be something that they changed. So here in the SOPs land, they're exposing everything out of the box, so it's easy. But you get, I believe, under the hood, it's still using the same algorithms to calculate and compute all the mathematical computations, all the heavy lifting simulation work. There's something that you need to know. If, like, in the DOPS, so you would plug in all your forces in here, like your pop force or whatever, like all your forces you control using control the RBD pieces, you would plug it in wherever. In here, in the SOPs one, all you have to do is take this bullet solver, double click it. Now, you can plug in the same forces in here. So you can pop force, whatever, here, and just plug it in. It's the same thing. It's just that this one is exposed more easily on the SOPs level. So I think this is the trend. They're trying to, like, shift it. It does seem like they're migrating all their .NET stuff into this form. And that's the Vellum is like that too. And a lot of other things are starting to come up here. I believe they have a Pyro as well. Yep, they do. So they have a Pyro on the soft level. I don't know how like I've never used this one on the soft level. I've used the one inside the dot. Now the dot net, I don't believe it will ever go away just because you can do so much more with the dot net. But who knows? Who knows what they have planned? My Yank, can you tell anything about the live action? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Okay, so we got that question. Sorry, I had missed those up there. Joking up there. And you missed some up there. Yep, gone through. Balaji, please share. Oh, I already answered that. Nozzle, I have no idea. I have to check that out. You missed some questions in the chat. Yep, I think I got them now. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. AFX, tell me how I start Houdini from year channel from which video? Oh, what you can do here. I actually, this question came up a couple of times. So I created a page. If you come over to the home page, scroll down. Oh, here, membership guide. You can come here and I have a sort of a step through that you can follow. So where to start? Because over time I've accumulated quite a lot of content, so you can check this out. Go over some of the teaser videos and just watch some of them since they're very short. They're like 30 seconds, a minute or so. Watch through the teaser videos and click here. Watch through these. Note down what you like and pick a topic that you like. Flip fluid, vellum, destruction, KinFX, fem. Pick what you like, and after you know that, you can dig deeper. So that's why I created this, which is these thumbnails are actually links. So if you like vellum, you can just come here, and this will bring you all the vellum playlist, a playlist full of vellum videos or crowds or so all of these thumbnails are clickable. They go to a playlist full of focusing on the respective category. So yeah, I don't have a schedule for the lives. Just because each topic has a random difficulty level that may take me longer or a shorter amount of time to go over and prepare. So I don't really have a schedule. I try to do at least 2 batches. It's not even in numbers. It's 2 batches. I do things in bulk. So I go and I test my stuff, test my scenes, prepare a bunch of scenes, and then I sort of spit it all out, all in like a week's worth of streams. The maximum I find that I can handle is 2 streams a week. I'm trying to push that even more, just to have just to dump all the topics all at once out. So, and then I would go through another week of editing and everything. But I haven't been able to go past the 2 streams per week. That's like my max at the moment. Who knows? That might change as I get more familiar with this. Hit files. Oh yeah, and if you want to check out like my status or like what am I up to right now, you can check out my Twitter page. This is where I post all my test scenes, just because Twitter is easy to post. Instagram is you need like a third party software or plugin or whatever extension to post videos up, which is a hassle. So I usually don't go to IG I don't post it on IG as much. It's mostly Twitter, where you see all my test scenes or stuff like old stuff I post out. You reading the wrong one. Go back by name. Sorry. I'm so sorry for missing it. You mind just posting it, like posting in the comments one more time? I'm getting confused. Here, let me try. Miss I believe I had yours. Can you tell anything about live action? Hey, Bubble, got to see. Can you live action? I still don't know what you mean. I'm so sorry. Can you post it one more time? Can you ask it one more time? Jupiter. Oh. Jupiter, where are you from? Oh, I'm in Canada. My Yankee. How about starting a live action series? Can you tell more on it? Oh, live action series. You mean who? I do favor animation over live action, but I have Houdini is very suitable and cost efficient for filming live action, just because you can do almost anything in Houdini. You can do fire, water, RBD, vellum, so you can make very nice film. However, I don't have I think you need to be really good at directing to do something like that, and I don't even have a good camera. I mean, I have a decent camera. I don't have the equipment for that, and it seems like a lot of work. I would stick with animation and CG stuff. So everything will be CG made. I may in the future, I've been planning to do this photograph and then use cops in Houdini to composite the photograph. I think that would be useful for everyone, because Houdini is non-destructive and procedural. We can actually take the photograph. Maybe I'm thinking, just brainstorming. Take a photograph of I bought this fake artificial grass, and I'm thinking of putting some toys or structures in it, and then have that photograph that scene, bring it into Houdini, create some sort of flip fluid simulation that would run over it, or do something funky with it. Who knows what we can do. That was just me brainstorming. I hadn't actually used it. I bought the grass, but it's been sitting on the shelf forever. It is something that it has crossed my mind. Just because I think it'd be very beneficial for those that want to do indie film. I think Houdini is the best bang for your buck. Jojo, Discord is mostly used to be in touch with followers on daily chat and announcements for next streams, discussions about certain topics in live chat and voice chat, team cooperation, and challenges. That sounds very good. That sounds like something very collaborative, which is something I really wanted to do. Rather than you listening to me do things, maybe we can do things together, do Houdini projects together, create together. I was hoping to do Unreal would really do that. Maybe I could create a workshop and everyone could, give a time limit, 2 hours. Let's dump what we have into this Unreal world, and we can just play it, walk around it, and then we can showcase all our creations within a 1-day workshop. I think that would be really cool. Penful. Pro tip, Udemy is always 89% off when you go with incognito. Yes, that is true. But then you need a new email. They sometimes give it to you anyways. They give you the 15% if you wait for the seasonal ones. So what I do is that I keep a list of courses that I like, and then once it goes on sale, I would just buy it all at once, and then just slowly go over it. The only issue is that you don't overbuy. because then you go crazy and you never finish anything. Which is some of the courses I have overbought, and then it's been sitting there and I haven't watched it at like ever. I've been meaning to. I always say that. I've been meaning to, but never have the chance. Once I met Rowan. Awesome. Balaji. How was he? That's awesome. Did you get his autograph? Evening. I got a recent one of Rowan. Well worth. It's the particle one. Awesome. Yeah, his Rowan's tutorials are really good. Evening. Dot 4 is pretty standard. I think you're talking about the nozzle. I think so. I think it might have been dot 4. I just don't remember. I haven't touched it in so long. It's just been sitting on the shelf. I've been meaning to do some of that. I really wanted to print a chassis for my PC because I got a mini ITX just so I could. I've been so low on time is that I have to like cook, literally like physically cook, like cook in the kitchen. Not cook the simulation. So I was hoping I could cook the simulation, press the button, and then still cook in the kitchen at the same time, which was the purpose of the mini ITX. So I've been meaning to like print a smaller case, because I can't find a case that would satisfy what I want. So I've been meaning to do that, but that's what I'm planning for my next printing idea. My ink. I am talking about the CG stuff. See you later, but we'll keep growing to TC. Bye. I'm so sorry. I think I misunderstood your question about the live action. I'm not sure. Sorry. Jojo, I'm checking out too. Thanks for the session. Awesome. Okay, I think I tired everyone out. I didn't realize that was like an hour and a half. So I think this is a good time to close it off. Tell me what you guys think about this. This was a very casual session. If you guys like more of this, let me know. Yeah, and I highly appreciate everyone coming and watching this. If people like this, I can actually do more of these question and answer sessions, just because this is very easy to do. It's not something I have to prepare like a couple weeks for in advance. This is something I can just do right here. Oh wow, you're still here. Awesome. Mayank. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Mayank. Tell me if I got that right. Please tell me. Well, I'm going to close it off just because I'm really tired too. If you guys have any more questions, just post them in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as possible. I want to put some 3D renders in my videos. Cool. Right. Still here too. Awesome. You guys are awesome. No. What? Okay, now I'm getting confused. Balaji. Yeah, autograph plus selfie with him. Awesome. Rowan's becoming a star. Go home, kids. Yeah. Thanks for all the work. Oh, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I highly appreciate it. Just having problem with texture part. Oh, okay. Can you be more specific? If you, maybe I can give you a few tips. Take care, bubblepins. Thanks for all the help. Canada rules East Coast for me. Awesome. That makes the scheduling easier for me. Everyone on the East Coast can't match textures with real footages. Oh yeah. You know what? Try using a real HDR map. Try creating your own HDR map. So grab a camera, even if it's a cheaper there is a cheap way to do HDR maps. If you have one of those 360 cameras, yeah, that's nice, but I mean, then you can just download an app and just create your HDR. But for all of us poor people like me, I don't have a 360 camera. What you can do is grab one of those Go sticks. What are those called? I don't even know. Those really long selfie sticks. Point it up and just go in a circle with really steady hands and grab pictures around. So you really want, if you want to match the footage, if you want textures to match the footage, you really need to match the lighting first. That's the key. And then you get that poured, even if it's a low res HDR map, it doesn't matter. You have to match the lighting. After you have that, bring it into Houdini or Blender or whatever rendering engine you're doing, then adjust the materials. It will be a lot easier to do it like that. Canon 80D. I think that's more than enough. I think even a cell phone one. This is only to help you get a rough HDR map to help you adjust the materials. I'm not saying use that for production. Ray, any plan to explore Unreal in the future? It's coming. It's coming. It may take a little bit of time. I want to really do the short film first, but it's coming soon. All right. Mayank, I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers everyone's question, including Ray. It's coming, seriously. I don't know when. After I don't know, because I have to finish the Vellum one too, the Vellum clothing drape. Oh, that's not. I'm not gonna answer that. I'm trying to keep my personal life away from this, and this is more focused on Houdini. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna close it off now. Thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you guys next time.